guys, good evening and welcome to Voidcast, where tonight, let me set this camera, we'll play some Planescape Torment. How are you all this evening? There's already some people in chat I see. I even spoke with some of them on my ghost account. Animal Sentinel is back from 2 weeks ago. Hi, welcome back. Glad you enjoyed it and that you returned to us. Also, Donkere Rups, always active in chat. This stream needs more intro music. Thank you. That's for those that didn't know. That's my own band, Stone Golem. So big shout out. It's my band. We play psychedelic stoner rock, space rock. And we have 2 albums out, which you can listen to on Spotify. So, are you guys ready for some Planescape Torment? I hope so. I am. I'm really excited to go back to it. But before we can do that, Jasper isn't here yet. So, I have to fill some, or at least have to occupy some space and time before he comes. I will start playing before he arrives probably, but I thought it was a nice opportunity to show you something that I was working on, which is a sort of what happened previously on the Precipice of Dreams. And the Precipice of Dreams is our live Dungeons and Dragons campaign. We play every other Monday, so this Monday it's Parallel Projections, next Monday it's Precipice of Dreams, Monday after Parallel Projections, and back and forth. We shot a special one-shot, just me and Game Master Roger, which was Oddleaf's ordeal because my character disappeared for a bit. And we'll be dropping that video on YouTube this Thursday. And as a sort of prelude to that, I cut a short trailer, not really a trailer, it's a sort of story overview from everything that happened up until now. So without further ado, I'd like to play that for you.
In the tavern, the rest of the party was being observed by 3 shady characters. And when our heroes went to their respective rooms for the night, Thomas woke up in the middle of the night to find out that the shady characters broke into the room and were searching for Sir Gunther's belongings.
Right now it's the thief's turn. He clearly found what he was looking for. In his hands he holds a small chest, says to the thug, "Hold him off, I need to get away. Keep him away from the window."
Reveals the box. I got this box from a man in Nulte, and I have to bring this to a friend of mine in Brentwick, and I think they were after this box.
Is it locked?
It is locked, and I have the key, but no, I haven't looked in it yet.
There's other ways to glance at the contents of the box without actually opening it. If I could hold it for just 10 minutes, I might be able to define something from that box.
That might be a very good idea. Sir Gunther hands over the box to Oddleaf.
Okay, I set the box before me on the table, take a book, open the book, and start mumbling something while making some hand gestures and a circle and holding the box.
Because as soon as you focus the detect magic on the box, you hear a familiar sound.
Yes,
and
yeah.
Intensifies ever so slightly the longer you watch it. You watch the box with the detect magic. You hear it thrumming inside your head.
I take a deep breath and open my eyes again. Okay, the contents of this box are definitely magical. I think it might be wise to take a look at it.
Yes. Sir Gunther says, "Okay, I will keep to my promise and I will not look in the box." And I give my key to Thomas. Thomas walks over to Oddleaf and he stands beside her and he sticks the key in the lock He turns the key around and he opens the box just for him and Oddleaf. And if Solwing is next to Oddleaf, just for them three to watch.
Well, you open the box, and it's inside. There's this purple padding. It's really thick cloth on both the top side and the bottom. And inside lies a small, well, about this big, like 20 centimeters big, shard of glass.
What I do know about it is that it might be smart to keep the lid closed.
You say you recommend to close the lid, but is it not smarter to take it out if it's the box people are after?
I would have room in my bag for it if you like would want to keep it separated. I can keep it safe and secured for the time being.
I think the lady is right. We should give it to her, and well, as long as she gives it back, of course. But I trust you.
I will give it back, and then I put it away where you guys don't see it anymore.
Anyway,
Okay.
Oddleaf, you went to your room.
Yes, I go up to the room. I take the chair and I prop it up under the door. Then I will take out a book from one of my bags that I have underneath my cloak. Open it up to a certain page and start drawing some patterns on the floor. I take my time to do this, about 10 minutes. I use some salt and soot to draw it. And I sit in the middle, finish the last pattern. Then I reach into my cloak and I take out my leather dagger holster and take out the shard of glass that was in the chest. I hold it in my hands and start looking it over.
You look through the glass, which is clear glass, like transparent, no colors, colored glass. But if you look through it, you see yourself in this, purplish, bluish hue, and then in a flash, the image switches. Like you're looking out of the glass, everything around you is purplish and blue, and you see yourself at the other end holding the glass for a moment. You see your own arm with a spiked chain around it, and then the image dissolves and the glass disappears. Okay, there we go. There.
Oh man.
Hi, so I hope you like that sort of story overview for my own storyline. I play Oddleaf in the Precipice of Dreams, and as you saw, I had possession of a magic artifact and decided to mess with it and then disappeared. And what happened then, we already recorded, me and Roger, and we'll be showing that. We'll be putting that up on our YouTube this Thursday. So, if you like parallel projections with Planescape Torment, if you like our live D&D campaign, if you like our show Talking Void, or any of them, follow us on Twitch to catch us live. Subscribe to our YouTube to see all our previous episodes. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook just to get updated and see some behind the scene stuff and all our artwork. Also, we recently got a Discord, our own Discord, so please come there and talk to us. All the links are down in the void beneath here in Twitch. So yeah, check it out, follow us, subscribe, click that like button. We are really grateful already to everyone that is following and subscribing, and you're really helping us out. We really need it to grow our channel and do all this cool stuff. So, with that said, I hope that you are ready to play some Planescape Torment. I am. So let's just get into it and play the intro theme. So that was our intro. So as you can see, I made a small stand-in for Jasper there, so we can at least play and have a Jasper stand-in ready. So we won't miss him too much, and I have someone to talk to. So let's dive into the game. Resume live. Yes. So, last time we left off here. We escaped from the Mortuary, from all the Dusties there, and arrived in Sigil, the big city somewhere. I don't know much about Planescape lore, so I'm discovering it as we go through the game. After walking around the streets for a bit, we ended up in this tavern here, and I can't recall the name. Let's see if I can see if I journal screen. Find fraud. Missing journal. Agree to deliver a message. I will find Craddock for being the sender. Okay. Okay, journal. Play somewhere. Anyway, okay, so yes, we escaped the Mortuary through a portal, arrived in Sigil, walked the streets for a bit, and then ended up here.
Done.
So I can't move the mouse. Is that true? So there's all these. Let's see if I can remember. Yes, Emmerich. That's a card. Okay, Dustman, zombie worker. So if I try to loot this, that looks like a mirror, but there's no reflection. Okay, let's talk to some people while we wait for Jasper. Yeah, let's check this. These gates are made of a featureless black metal. There doesn't appear to be any way to open them. This the same. Okay. Okay, these are all chests. Probably if I loot them, probably get into trouble. Old Cooper Eyes is a person here. I recall that we had something to do here, but for the life of me, I just can't remember what. Let's talk to some people. Let's talk to you, zombie worker. You, stranger, speak with me for a moment. Who said that? You, Seer the Skeptic? As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who's come a-calling on Seer today. Death's dearest son. She looks you up and down, then shakes her head in disbelief. By every power in its mother, boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? I can joke. Well, the crypt was losing its charms, and I'm looking around for the right place to die. I know of anywhere. You know, yeah, we've been We've been funny before with Morty. Yeah, let's do that. She barks a laugh that rattles your ears. Ha! Not here, unless you want to die of boredom. I'll keep that in mind. I had some questions. Questions, eh? Well, you can ask. Seer looks at you with a steely eye, then smiles. Crypt crawler. Are you a dustman? Have you seen a journal recently? I'm searching for... Okay, so these are all questions that... Let's just first ask her. Yeah, let's just... Are you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. Seer sniffs. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body's almost ready to pay the ferryman. She chuckles, but there's not much mirth in it. Are you afraid of dying? That would be a first, because all the other dustmen seem pretty eager to die, I think. Sort of a reward. Can't recall the specifics. Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except dustmen. Yeah, you see? They're not afraid because they've been swallowing so much of their own bad droppings over the decades that they've blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. Exactly as I said. Wow. I do remember stuff. Yeah, she did. So, yeah. So, what sparked this crisis of faith? She shrugs. Life, I suppose. She frowns. Ha! Never you mind. I won't bore you with the niggling details. Well, I'd like to know, actually. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. How old do you take me for, boy? Yeah, old. She snorts. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now, I've spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen whelps growing within our order, taught them the way of the faction, kept the faith, preached the tenets of the faction. She frowns, and so on and so on. No questions, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. Yeah, so what happened? Well, a half-month back, I went sick with the fever, she sighs. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? Her face becomes a stone. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. Oh, Sarah's so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. Burden of life? That's when it struck me. Yeah, that there's something, a queer expression comes over her features, adult, about not appreciating your life. The dustman keeps saying that life is misery and suffering. Is it? That we should be happy to pass on into oblivion. Should we? She shakes her head. Questions, and precious few answers. So, it doesn't sound like you believe in the dustman philosophy anymore. I suppose I've got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. She rubs her temples. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I haven't got them all worked out yet. So, what will you do? To be square, boy, I don't know. Sarah sighs. That's the problem with doubt. I can't even trust that what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because of my brush with the fever. Or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. Ooh, interesting. Answers. Something's happening. Is Jasper joining me?
Has appeared.
Ooh, I think Jasper is joining me, guys. Let me just quickly check on the Discord. One moment. Hello. Yes.
Hello.
There you are. Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to share my screen with you. We're already live, so everyone can hear what I'm telling you.
I watched you. I even saw Animal Sentinel in the chat again, so I thought that was pretty great.
Yes. So, let's see in OBS whether everything's good to go. We go to studio mode, so we don't bother the people with...
Are we okay?
No, we're not okay.
No?
No, let's... What's this? No, yeah, no. This is all wrong. The screen...
Ow! Ow!
Well, if I go to the... If I would go to the game screen right now, it would show the game again instead of your face. So I'm guessing that you should be in the 4th position. Can you name yourself 5, Jasper, so you switch over in Discord?
Yes, I can.
Let's see. It might be that Discord will try to keep you, will try to keep my screen share in the center, but just one moment, guys, while we figure out how we can smoothly transition into a screen with Jasper.
I changed my name, so that's the thing.
Ah, you changed your name, yes. So.
But for some reason my chat is empty. I don't understand why that is, but it was full just a moment ago.
Look, okay, and this one, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I ruined it. Switch off studio mode. Okay. Jasper has joined the party. Hi, Jasper.
I have?
Yes, you have.
Hello.
You're
Yes,
alive.
here I
People
am.
can see you.
Okay.
How are you?
And they hear me as well.
They can hear you.
Jet, can you hear me?
They should. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm reading Harry Potter to my son.
Oh, cool.
And we
cool,
were
cool.
in one long chapter after his swimming lessons. So hey, there's Animal Sentinel. Thank you for replying. So I'm a bit running a bit late, but
no problem,
I'm
no
here.
problem. I showed them the thing that I cut for Old Leaf's Ordeal, the story
cool.
trailer of sorts, and then just got into the game. And I don't know if you recall where we were, but we entered a tavern, forgot the name, but it was full of dustmen. It was the dustmen's hang spot. And I just started talking to Sarah. She's a dustman, but has sort of lost her faith. She got a fever recently. She's very old, and she got a fever recently, and then sort of surprised herself by discovering that she actually didn't want to die, which is weird for a dustman.
That's one bad dustman.
Yeah, so we are currently enough talk. Let's fight. Yeah, so we are currently talking to her.
Okay.
So let's return to that.
Yeah.
Zip. For the first time, I actually have an old telephone with me. I can show you, so I can read chat while I'm playing the game. Every once in a while. It's not. I mean, I'm not just. We also have to play a game, you know. Anyway, where were we? Yes, I had two big answers that I had to read. So the first answer is, Sarah, if you had truly believed in the Dustman philosophy, then your brush with the fever would not have left you with such doubts. True. Sarah, I would treat this as a test of your belief. It sounds like these feelings are only temporary. All those years of devotion to the Dustman could not have been false. Show more. Oh. At the core of the Dustman philosophy is that this life is one of pain. It is a weapon that life uses against the soul to keep it anchored to this existence. Do not let this brush with the fever break your Dustman belief so. Time will heal these doubts. It's a difficult thing to answer, Luke. I've had some other questions. I must take my belief. So, I'm not a big believer in the Dustman philosophy myself.
And why not? Because it's a great philosophy.
Yeah, that life is suffering and that death should be welcomed.
Well, then that's where it really starts. And of course, it is not my belief, but they explain it in pretty well. So why not? You know. And there are other things who say kicks more competitive, which is the reason for the multiverse existing, and others says the universe is decaying. We're just here to help it along. The other one says it's all about order. The other says it's all about revolution. So why shouldn't it be all about death? And the other question is, should we make someone wonder about their own faith, which a lot of people follow, or should we help her find her way back?
Well, I don't know. She's very, very old, Jasper. She probably knows better than we do.
But I think we are older.
Yeah, maybe, but I don't know that because we don't know yet. So I would have gone
don't know
for
sure, but
I would have gone for answer 1, but you are suggesting answer 3
or 2.
Yeah, but I think 3 is the more interesting one, because I was interested in 3 for the following reason, because it seems our character is dropping some hardcore knowledge, and that's coming from somewhere. Like, it seems like some form of memory has returned and allows me to take this deep philosophical answer to her. Sort of. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But
so you say 3.
Choice,
I'm doubting between 1 and 3, so that makes it answer 3 then.
Okay.
Okay. Sarah stares at you, then nods slowly. Maybe so, maybe so. She frowns, her face wrinkling up in concentration. I'll have to chew it over some more. Yeah, you should. It's no small matter. Now, enough of me rattling on about my woes. Sarah stares at your scars. You look like you've shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your views somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Well, my condition is unique. I woke up in the mortuary. I think they mistook me for a corpse and were prepared to bury me. The strange thing is, I think I actually had died and got better.
Well,
Truth.
that will truly shake her belief, I think.
Not really.
But there is a show more options, so...
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it. I had some other questions, though. I mean, 2 and 3 say truth, but I think the truth is number 1, which is basically me telling her my life story as I know it at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Because my entire life story is answer 1. So for everyone that didn't see the previous 2 episodes, answer 1 is basically what we've been doing.
It gets... You don't even have to do, how do you say? Can't come up with the word.
Oh, I see that.
Recap.
Oh, wow. Wait. We're doing it all wrong.
What are we doing wrong?
We're still on the...
Oh.
Now you guys can actually see the game.
They didn't even say...
No, nobody said anything. Alright.
The scenery is about the same and you read it all out loud, so...
Yeah, I know. It's true. I did read it all aloud. Okay, so... Now that people can actually watch with us. Something had to go wrong. That's it, probably.
Yeah, now we're good for the rest of the evening.
Yep. You know, I'll just go for answer 1. Sarah blinks. You're rattling my coffin. It's true. Strange are the ways of the plains, and I've seen too much to throw any tale out with the wash. She studies your face. If it's true, why does this happen? That's a good question. And a camera that keeps refocusing. What
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, your
you do the
camera.
game.
Okay. I don't know. All I know is that I woke up in the mortuary with no memory and covered with enough wounds to kill me 3 times. I feel the strange need to be very upfront with this woman.
I feel the strange need to do that anyway.
Always.
Well, you see it where it gets Bowen, so not always.
Okay, so I'll take this one. Now, don't be saying that too loud. She glances around. Most peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Shame about the memories. Do you have any idea why this happens? Nay, not a one. Never knew anyone death wouldn't take until now. Well, perhaps I could ask you some other questions. Questions, eh? Well, you can ask. Sarah looks at you with a steely eye and smiles. Crypt crawler.
You have to pronounce it a bit better, Michel, because if we are reading it aloud, better that they can understand what you're saying.
Am I mumbling?
A bit, yes.
Okay, yeah, it's the weird thing where I try to articulate, but don't want to be so loud that I wake up the entire house. You know.
Okay.
I'll try to do better.
Should I reprise part of my role in this?
Oh, sure. So let me read my answers, and then you do Sarah the skeptic.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so we want some information about the Dustman because we were looking for some, I think. We were looking for fraud, which is a question, and we're looking for the journal, which is also a question. So we actually want to ask all these things. So let's start by 2. I wanted to ask you about some of the Dustmen in particular.
No harm in it. Who's on your mind?
Actually, don't think that this is a quest thing, but information never hurt anyone. Actually, I met a scribe named Dol at the Mortuary. Do you know him?
Dal? He was my instructor in the philosophical arts during my early training at the Mortuary, and a crusty fool to boot. He's ill, so my ears tell me. I bet he'll even bore death with his presence.
We already knew that he was dying, right? So no need in asking. Can I ask you about some of the other Dustmen? One of the
No harm in it. Who's on your mind?
One of the embalmers in the mortuary, Avine. Do you know her?
Who?
Strange young woman, poor eyesight, near death, talents for hands.
Sarah shakes her head. Maybe she's a new initiate. I've never heard of her. This is one interesting thing as well, you know. So Yvain is a tiefling. Mm-hmm. If you see tieflings in 5th edition, they all have the curly horns, the tail, and most of them have cute upper pointy teeth and smile a lot with big eyes. The tieflings here are more diverse and strange looking and are really...
have more of their...
have debilitations from their fiend ancestry.
Yeah.
Which is...
more
quite
fiendish.
Different from more fiendish.
Yeah,
quite different, and
which
a
makes
lot
more
variety
sense. And
in their appearance.
And I think the player's handbook tells you that you can choose sort of what kind of fiendish physical features you want to take. But
yeah. Always comes down.
People want to be the hot thieflings, you know.
Yeah. The Mollywalk and the Chesters.
Yes.
Which are great, by the way.
Love those characters. But I like the idea of a more monstrous tiefling.
Yeah.
Okay. So that no matter, I had some other questions. Have you seen a journal recently? I'm missing mine.
What does it look like?
No idea.
If you don't know what it looks like, how do you expect to find it?
I'm
True that.
yeah. I'm beginning to wonder that myself. I had some other questions though.
Questions, eh? Well, you can ask. Oh, here she goes again about the Cryptwalker thing.
Yeah. I'm searching for. We actually didn't do the I didn't crawl out of crypt thing. But I'm thinking it loops us back to the start of the conversation. But
Could be, yeah.
I'm searching for a man named Farad. Have you seen him?
Oh man, lost my screen. There we go again. Sarah's face crumbles into a frown. That dog. He's the worst of the collector lot. I heard he has his kip set up somewhere in the Wreckpicker Square, many streets west of the Mortuary gate. Dangerous place though. Some of those collectors aren't patient enough to wait for folks to die so they can sell them for jink. Meaning, they kill stuff for bodies.
Collectors?
They're vermin that scavenge the bowels of the hive for bodies to sell to the dustmen. Make a living of the dead, a motley breed. Makes you ashamed to share the same city with them. She sighs. Shh. At least they help keep the streets clean.
Okay. Some other questions?
Questions, eh?
No, that was it. I must take my leave. Farewell.
So this is the first one you talked to in...
Yep.
Okay.
Good, huh? I did that specially for you. So we have these dustmen, and we have two more named characters. We have Norwich, and Emmerich.
Emmerich we had to talk to.
Yes. Right, but I can't recall what for. Find Farad. No. Missing journal.
Wasn't he the one who we had to meet because of the way we crawled out of that crypt?
Yeah, something like that.
Was the contact, I think.
Oh wait, we can look at our inventory then probably, because we had that.
That's the one you skipped.
Yeah, Ben's note. Yeah. I have a new mission for you. Preferably, I've left you some coins. Use them to secure a hiding place. Emmerich, yes. So here we are. We are at the Gathering Dust Bar. Initiate Emmerich. Sending out finders to try and mark Farad's movements. Okay, so he knows where Farad is.
Yeah, and he's opposed to Farad. So
yeah, all right.
That will be great.
Yes.
Can you zoom in just a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Sorry, I'm usually somebody that likes like a top-down view, and then sometimes.
Yeah, the same, but it's fun to shift it a bit because.
Yeah. Sure.
Details.
No. Yeah, absolutely right.
Oh, we're still regaining hit points.
Yeah, we
lost here?
We lost a few. Okay, so let's first talk to Oh, Mortuary Gravesand is also a named character. Why didn't it show that?
This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously, and his eyes dart around the bar like birds.
Greetings.
The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure, and he gives a slight nod and a greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who is just getting their Sigil legs about them. He trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow.
Possibly. Are you certain it was me?
Maybe I was mistaken. Mortai shakes his head. Well, no matter. How is it that Mortai Gravesand may help you? Do you seek, he clucks his tongue as he speaks, the contract, perhaps?
Contract?
The contract? Why? It is but a simple transaction. From the depth of this huge rope, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a quill pen. I give you 50 commons. In return, after death, the Dustman faction may claim your remains. He smiles, then cocks his tongue. What use will you have for them at that point anyway?
Whew. What do the dustmen do with the body?
Mortai holds up his hands as if he doesn't know. What does it matter? It is of no consequence when you pass on.
Well, really, it does matter to me.
Well, if you must know, oftentimes nothing is done with your body, and it is we, the dustmen, who have wasted all that money. More fools us. Mortai gives a light smile, then looks apologetic. But rarely there are times when the workers in the mortuary need to be replaced, and then we may have a need for your body.
You mean I'll be animated as a corpse and put to work in a mortuary? That doesn't sound good.
Ah, but no harm is done, no pain. Mortai raises a finger as if to emphasize the point. And there is no danger. In exchange for money you can spend in this life, you merely have to give us something you will have no need of anyway, once you have died. Mortai taps his chest. I signed the contract myself, if you must know. I shall have no need of my body when I pass on.
So,
Let's sign.
Yeah, you want to sign?
Of course we sign.
I mean, we already ended up in the mortuary anyway this time with the dustmen, so good way to make some coppers, because every time we die, we can sign the contract new. Gain another 50.
I think so.
True. Very well. I'll sign.
Excellent, excellent. Mortai looks overjoyed. With a thin smile, he places a dusty sheet of parchment and the quill pen in front of you. You shall not regret this. He jabs his finger at 3 points on the page. Sign here and here and here, and our transaction is concluded. And there, and there.
Yeah. So, you show more emotion than the other dustmen I've met.
Mortai's smile turns cold. I trust you meant no offense, sir.
I meant no offense, but you seem awfully eager to sign this contract with me, and for a dustman, eagerness strikes me as odd.
True. Eager? Mortai arches his eyebrows, then coughs politely. Sir, do you wish to sign the contract or not? If not...
Is there a problem with showing emotions?
Oh my, yes, Mortai frowns. Too much passion, too much emotion prevents one from reaching the true depth. To be passionate runs contrary to the philosophy of our faction. You go into the true depth cycle.
Yeah.
The true depth is a state of peaceful oblivion all dustmen aspire to, and help all others to reach. He chucks disapprovingly. Anything that ties a soul to this life is shunned by our faction, whether these ties are possessions or emotions. You see, passions act as an anchor of the soul, preventing it from reaching the true depth. He shakes his head. Very bad, very bad.
I still haven't signed any, so...
I'd like to sign, yeah, let's sign.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to sign it.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, we already had this one, so sign there, and there.
Yes, gained 500 experience. You take the quill in your hand and you begin to scratch your signature into the parchment. The quill pen makes a strange scratching noise as it touches the parchment, like a dagger writing on steel.
What are you signing?
As you try to sign the parchment, however, you notice that it seems to be shifting beneath your pen. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to sign your name. The contract seems to twist from being a dusty piece of parchment to something alive?
Mortai, what's with this contract?
When you glance up to speak to Mortai, you see that his face has been replaced with that of a grinning skull. The rest of the bar seems to stop. The patrons fall silent, freezing like statues. Mortai opens his mouth, and a wisp of dust trails from inside the skull.
Mortai?
Oh, bit up. Can you scroll a bit upwards?
Yeah.
With a rasp, the deaf's head speaks, dust steaming from his teeth.
Sign. But remember, everything has its price. And what can change the nature of a man?
The words are ragged, dead chorus, as if being spoken by 5, 10, 20, 100 voices, old, young, female, male, desperate, calm, hysterical.
Great voice acting, Jasper.
Thank you.
Nature of man?
As you speak the words, suddenly you feel faint, and the next thing you hear is Mortai's voice, normal, and his hand upon your shoulder. Sir, are you alright? He laughs uneasily. I thought I'd lost you for a moment.
Try and get my bearings.
It is as if time has exhaled and resumed its natural breathing. The rest of the bar has returned to normal, and Mortai's face is no longer a death's head. You feel a strange pressure inside your skull, as if something desperately wishes to surface, but cannot. The experience with the death's head that spoke dust, it was as if you remembered a dozen splinters of memory at once, all stabbing into each other to create an image. And you know, somehow, that every voice the death's head spoke belonged to someone now long dead.
Just give me a moment, I'll be fine.
Mortai removes his hand from your shoulder. He looks uneasy, more at the prospect of losing a customer than any concern for your welfare. As you stare at the dusty parchment upon the table, you know for a fact that this is not the first time you have penned your name to the contract, and perhaps not the first time you have signed one such as this.
You know, finish signing the contract.
You scratch an X across the contract in the 3 places Mortai indicated. As you finish making the last mark, Mortai's hands lash out like 2 whips. The left hand sprinkles dust across the parchment to help the ink dry, and his right hand flicks a stream of coppers into your hand. 50 in all.
Now that's out of the way, I had some other questions for you.
XP. I love me XP. Of course. Mortai says, I would be a pleasure to answer any questions you may have.
So we already know who to talk to for fraud, so we'll do that. We don't know what the journal looks like, so let's not ask him that. But can you tell me about some of the patrons here?
Yeah, let's skip the journal and fraud questions for now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Come on, Jasper, come on.
Oh yeah, sure. Of course. Which of the patrons did you wish to know about?
Can you tell me about Sarah?
A troubled initiate. I have heard she got initiate. It sounds so. She's like 100 years old, but still an initiate. Anyway, a troubled initiate. I heard she contracted the sickness not long ago, and it changed her. Now she seems bitter and angry, and she does not speak the Dustman believes with the conviction she once did. I fear that bitterness is a passion that could jeopardize her position within the faction. I feel that all, except for the ones inside the mortuary, every Dustman we have spoken right now has a lot of emotions.
Yes, yeah. Probably has something to do with them being outside of the mortuary and actually living a life.
In a bar.
Yeah, and hanging out in a bar. Okay, so we already had this whole conversation with him about passion, so did he have any other questions? Any other patrons we could ask? No, I think that was it then.
Yeah.
Did you see anything? Still, no questions today, farewell.
Oh, sorry. Mortai nods as you turn to leave. He has a strange expression on his face.
Is there something wrong?
Mortai frowns. Forgive me, I must ask again. Are you sure we haven't met before?
Possibly. I do not recall you.
Mortai shakes his head. Well, no matter.
Farewell, Mortai.
Yes, farewell. Mortai studies you as you leave, and you hear him mutter under his breath, something about that one.
Leave. Okay, let's get back to it. So, we had Naroch.
Copper Eyes and Morik. And there's this blue corpse in the left top.
Yeah. So, shall I do
corner.
this one again? Or you
If
want
you want to.
Yeah. You see a spindle-thin dustman in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his leper-white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He is frowning into his drink and mumbling to himself. You take our hero now. So, you want to do that? You just switch it around every now and then.
I have to shift between the stream screen and the chat because I don't want to type and make a lot of noise. I want to put something in chat. You look troubled? No, let's just do option 1.
Oh yeah, you just had to say greetings, and then I still had to ask read what he said. So the dustman looks up, blinks once, then looks you up and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spiked locks and points at himself with it. Naroch.
Yeah. You look troubled.
Initiate
Naroch.
Dustman God. Naroch touches his face and traces the shape of his frown with his finger. Troubled, yes.
What's wrong?
The dustman looks you up and down. Many troubles I have. Help, can you? Mausoleum awakes, the dead walk, the dead disturbed, the dustman disturbed. Find out what disturbs the undead, and copper coins will I pay.
Very well. Where is this mausoleum?
Updated my
I have to
journal.
find my voice for
Yeah.
our main character.
Yeah, here was the example. Updated my journal.
Yeah, indeed.
Naroch nods. Mausoleum by Dustman Memorial. Go north and west from Black Monument. Go to Arch and semicircle over your heart with this finger. This make, he wiggles the index finger on his right hand to the mausoleum. Go you will.
I'll look into it then. Farewell.
Okay. Excellent. We got another awaiting death. That's interesting.
You got another awaiting death. Yay.
Yeah.
Another named one.
You do this one.
Okay. Before you is a young dustman with stubble on his chin and dark circles beneath his eyes. He is staring at the wall with a somber expression.
Greetings.
The dustman doesn't look up. He stares straight ahead, as if he is seeing something several leagues beyond the walls of the bar.
Can I ask you some questions?
The dustman doesn't respond. He keeps staring into the distance. Alrighty then. Mortius is at you. Let it go, Chief. This dusty might as well be fertilizer.
Fair enough. Let's get out of here.
Nice. As you turn to leave, the dustman suddenly speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear his words. You think he said something about a contract.
What did you say?
Dustman turns to you, his face like a stone, his eyes dead. Why did you sign that contract?
I needed the money. To see if it stirred my memory of considering the death and I aren't speaking terms anymore. I consider it a no lose proposition. To be honest, I don't really know. What business is it to yours? Well,
I think 2 is a nice one.
yes, that one piqued my interest immediately. But I thought 3 was funny because it's the truth.
good as
Ivansaw was so like, yeah, I don't care about death. But yeah, the main reason was I wanted to see if it stirred my memory.
Stir your memory, he frowns, and remember nothing but this life that you have left behind.
What should I have done it for?
A release from this existence? Look, Surely you have seen the corpses that walk the streets of Sigil? He sighs, mindless, incapable of feeling pain or anger or the weight of years. That is the true death that walks there. That is perfection. Oh man, I'm feeling this guy.
Yeah, sorry. I have to go with 3. But maybe 2. Perfection bar that. That's nothing but rotten meat.
That's cool too.
That's pretty
You
cold.
choose.
I think 3 might be even colder. It's just like, but this young whippersnapper needs a good talking to.
Yeah.
You're not You're not old. You're just ignorant. You've got your life ahead of you without looking for death. Death will come for you soon enough. So live while you can.
This is living. He bares his teeth and his hands clench. This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Death is silent, comforting even. You said, see, I put the word even after it. I think that was great.
Yeah.
Was just great.
Yeah.
Someone, Cat, give me an Oscar. Anyway.
Yeah. Ooh. Trust me, it's not.
The boy seems irritated by the comment. And how do you know?
I don't know. I've yet to see what lies beyond death and remember it. If I die again, perhaps then I could speak of it.
Oh. The dustman blinks, then sneers. You lie! No man can die more than once, not without being resurrected by mighty magics.
Okay, just option 2 immediately sprung out to me, but
Oh,
if I ever
yeah,
die-
that's cool.
Yeah,
Let's do that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wake up
I
in the
don't know what to-
mortuary again.
Well, we'll see. We run out of there. We know the way.
It's true. Try and kill me then, see what happens.
He looks at you skeptically. Nay, I think not, even if I felt the urge to do so. Oh, okay. Commit suicide in front of his eyes. Well, I like that one too.
Yeah,
Right?
you know it's the big red button that we were talking about. Push me!
We have to push this one.
Never
Michel.
mind
We
then.
have to.
What do you mean before after being if you're in hesitation, govern all your action. I doubt this existence holds much joy. But that's just agreeing with him. Then I shall force you to watch me. I'll show you what death holds.
What do you mean? He looks like he wants to turn away, but he cannot. You can't seriously.
Take your hands, twist your neck.
Your vision slowly returns. Your death felt different this time. You see a waiting death standing above you. He looks horrified and fascinated. He has propped you into a chair and is looking apprehensively at the other bar patrons. They don't appear to have noticed or have mistaken you for a drunk.
Convinced now.
Are you one of the Walking Dead?
We're all the Walking Dead. That's a different
I
series.
love that show.
I don't know.
Then what are you?
I don't know, but I die and am reborn.
Yet you still think, you still feel?
Yes, but there's a hollowness. Something is missing, and it eats at you. Never leaves you at peace.
To be dead and still think and feel? Will misery never leave a body be? The thought seems to horrify him. Even death is no release.
Indeed, perhaps you should not be so quick to abandon this life before knowing what the next life holds for you.
The boy falls silent, thinking. Eventually he turns back to you. Your words carry weight, sir, and a fresh perspective. I will do as you have said.
That is all I ask. Live, grow old, and learn. Farewell.
That was a cool one.
Yeah, we
Animal
got
Sentinel
500.
says-
We got 500 XP for offing ourselves.
Animal Sentinel says TNO will get a lot of opportunities to do gross, disturbing, painful things to his body.
Yep.
The name is one.
The name is one, yes.
We'll
I
get a lot
figured.
of.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was just
Yeah.
so.
Sure.
And Animal Sentinel, rest assured, as long as there are big red buttons that we can press to do these types of weird things, we'll be pressing those weird options.
Yes, we will certainly try to press
Well,
them.
at one point we'll also sometimes role play a bit more instead of doing the funny or gross thing. Okay, so old Copper Eyes. Let's go.
Yeah.
Shall I do Old Copper Eyes again? We just sort of alternate a bit because it's
Okay, but do this one. Holy, I have to drink something. I'll try him up. I'll be back.
Yeah, before you is a tall, silent figure. He could easily pass for a statue, although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was a little too eager in defining the face with his chisel. He looks well over 50 years old, but exactly how much over 50 it's hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. Greetings. Old Copper Eye stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black well of his eye sockets, but they look to have a coppery sheen about them.
I'm looking to sign one of the dead contracts.
I
Oh,
think,
okay.
think we already did, right? Copper Eyes makes the barest of nods and slowly reaches into his dustman robes with both hands. With his left hand he pulls forth a small bag of human skin. With his right hand he draws forth a piece of parchment folded around a finger bone pen. The bag and the parchment are slowly laid on the table in front of you.
Okay. Let's start by option 1. Pick
Yeah.
up the parchment and examine it.
Yep. It's a contract that entitles the dustman to take possession of the signer's body after he has passed beyond the eternal boundary. The signer, in exchange, receives a monetary sum from the dustman, agreed upon at the time of signing. You assume the sum in the bag is the amount you will receive for signing the contract.
And the parchment.
Examine the parchment. Yeah, it's what we did. It's the same thing.
Can
So
we sign it again?
I don't know. Let's
And-
try.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading this. As you finish signing, Copper Eyes nods at the back to his left. As he does, the contract parchment vanishes from the table and into the folds of his robes.
Oh, then we get 100 copper. So the other guy gave us less, but at least we can have 2 of them.
So, first option?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I had some questions I wanted to ask.
Copper Eyes says
Copper Eyes
nothing.
says nothing. Never mind for a while.
Okay, let's go to... Emmerich. What was this?
Finally,
Yeah, let's leave Emmerich for last. So we were interested in talking to this zombie worker. You go.
this female corpse.
Yeah.
This female corpse is dressed in a heavy burlap shirt covered with food and wine stains. Her lips have been stitched closed, and her arms and legs are wrapped in several layers of bandages. The bandages seem to have been soaked in preservatives to keep the corpse fresh. As a result, the corpse's rotting odor has been replaced with an equally repulsive vinegar smell. Hey, didn't we already talk to this one? I don't know.
No. It's the same. It's the same option
So
you
let's
get
do
with
the
all
option
the.
1 again. Maybe Morta will start yelling at her.
Zombie continues to stare at you. All right
okay.
then. Great talking to you. Farewell.
Bye.
Yeah, it's the same options you get with.
Okay.
The bar is made from a green stone that seems to evaporate any liquid that touches it. That's nice. Let's talk to Emmerich.
The bar looks like a curved sword.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, good call. It does actually.
You see a heavy-set man. Oh, you're going again.
No,
Yeah, of
you
course.
take it. You take
You
it.
see a heavy-set man with dark skin and grim features. He is dressed in the dustman robes and is regarding you with a stony gaze.
It's Bowen. No.
Yeah, but not the grim features.
Greetings.
But for the rest, yes. You have the look of one who lost. The man's voice is like stone setting. Did the wind send you, or are you here with a purpose?
Who are you?
I am Imoric, a factotum and initiate of the fourth circle.
Is this your bar?
If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. He pauses as if trying to emphasize a point. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection.
Can I ask you some questions?
Morik waits.
Can you tell me about?
I'm
you wanna?
wondering if we can join the dustmen.
Shall I first want to hear his take on the Dustman faction then?
Dustmen seek the true death. Some call it oblivion, but this is incorrect. To Dustmen, the true death is freedom from the chains of this false life.
False life?
This life has that many cling to with their emotions is a false existence. As long as one clings to it, they will continually be reborn into it. One must divest themselves of emotion to escape this cycle.
I see. Can you tell me about how your faction is organized?
Dustmen are organized into 5 circles. The 5th circle is made of the lowest rank of Dustmen, initiates. The 1st circle is comprised of the highest ranking Dustmen, the ruling body of our faction.
I had some other questions.
Morik waits.
I would like to join the Dustman faction.
If you desire to join the Dustman faction, I will hear your request.
I don't want to join the Dustman faction, Jasper.
Oh.
I think
I don't think I did this as well, but why not? Why not shift alliances as we go through the adventure?
That's true, but I feel... Yeah, okay.
Funny thing is, we would be joining the Dustmen to experience things, which is contrary to their philosophy, of course.
Yes.
Which is funny.
I don't like their philosophy at all. Let's just... Yeah, big red button. Yes, I desire to join the
Yeah,
Dustman
we talked
faction.
about the red button. If you desire to join the Dustman faction, then passion rules your mind. Passion's path is not a Dustman path.
That's a good one. I misspoke. I have no desire to join the Dustman faction. I merely believe what the Dustmen believe. Whatever that is.
Very well. Do you know our philosophy?
Yes.
Recite it.
The goal of all Dustmen is to reach the true death, oblivion. This life that many cling to with their emotions and passions is a false one. As long as one clings to it, one will continually be reborn into it. One must divest themselves of emotion to escape this cycle.
Do you believe it? Oh, this is a difficult one, yes?
Yes.
But a lie. Then it shall be tested. Speak with Initiate Norosh. He is here in the bar. Return when you have done what he has asked of you.
I will speak with him, but I had some other questions first, though.
Wait.
Can you tell me about the debt contracts?
Do you wish to sign the debt contract? Yes, I'll sign.
Yes, I'll sign. Sure.
A Morg pulls forth a dusty piece of parchment from his robe and a quill pen. He directs you to sign the parchment in 3 places.
Sign in the places indicated.
You take the quill into your hand and you begin to scratch your signature into the parchment. The quill pen makes a strange scratching noise as if it touches the parchment like a chisel on stone.
Continue signing.
As you try to sign the parchment, however, you notice that it seems to be impervious to your pen. No matter how hard you try, you can't seem to pen your name. The ink doesn't seem to want to leave the pen.
Emmerich? What's with this contract?
When you glance up to speak to Emoric, you see that his face has turned to stone. He has become a statue. The rest of the bar seems to have filled with grey haze, and you can no longer make out the rest of the patrons. A faint whisper comes from Emoric's mouth, as if his stone lungs were trying to force a breath from his chest.
Emmerich?
So here you go
It's
again.
the same thing, yeah.
You can barely make out the whisper coming from Emoric's lips. Then you realize that it's not one but many whispers. Sign, but know that its price is set in soul and stone, and what can change the nature of a man, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Nature of man. Repeat the word. Try. Yeah.
It's as if time is set, but Emoric's stone face becomes someone. Yeah, you can skip this one.
Apartment again.
As you stare at the dusty parchment upon the table, you know the fact that this is not the first time. You know, we just did it before this one.
Yeah. Look, even though you've signed both Mortai's and Copper Eye's contracts, finish signing Emmerich's contract anyway.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we can keep on dying, so we can keep on giving our body away. You scratch your X across the contract. Oh, sorry, you're doing.
Indicated. As you finish, Emoric takes the contract and hands you a bag of 50 corps. Oh, a 50 is the going rate.
Yep. Now that's all out of the way. I had some other questions for you.
Wait. Let's talk about Ferret now, right?
Yeah. I'm here searching for a man named Farad. Have you seen him?
I would know why you seek the collector Farad. We know what a collector is, so...
Yes. He stole something from me, right? We know that he took our body in and our friends in, and he probably has our journal, maybe?
Yeah.
So... he stole something from me.
Emoric remains silent. His gaze is unnerving. He doesn't seem to blink.
Why do you want to know my business with Farad?
The collector Farad has brought many corpses to the mortuary of late. One must ask where these bodies are from.
Tell me more about the bodies.
Some are recent dead. They still have their last moments in their eyes. Many more bodies are centuries old. The dust of ages lies upon their bones. One must ask where these bodies are from.
Perhaps I could find out where these bodies are from.
That's a good option. How would you do such a thing?
Well, I would track down Farad and ask him.
Do that. If you spoke with the collector Farad and returned with his answers, You will have done a great service for the dustman. Find where the dead he brings to us are from, and you will be rewarded.
Very well, I will find Farad, speak to him, and find out where these dead bodies he brings you are from.
Imoric nods. Your path is our path. Return here when you have the collectors for all his answers.
Then, okay, tell me where he is.
It is not known to me where the collector for all is. He hides from the eyes of the dustman. I would seek other collectors and ask them your questions.
Very well. I must take my leave. Farewell.
Yeah.
So he told
I
us to
think,
talk to Copper Eyes again.
And Norosh.
He told us to talk to Norosh? I thought he told us to talk to Copper Eyes for joining. Was that Norosh?
I think it's Norosh. Chat, is it Norosh? Am I right?
Oh, he figured it out. My error. Thought you were someone else. Let's go there. Yeah, sorry, I can do
Chat
this.
isn't answering.
You see Norosh? Go, you go.
You see Norosh. He is pulling at one of his spikes of hair and using it to scratch a spot on his face. You can't help but think he would look a lot better with dreadlocks.
Emmerich told me to speak to you, Norosh.
Imoric sent you to me. He studies you for a moment, then sighs and points at himself. Norosh is Dustman. Guard, serve Dustman interest, protect Dustman interest, protect Dustman reputation. Man sighs again. In the hive, many thieves. One thief wears robe of Dustman, but Dustman not.
There's a thief disguised as a dustman.
Updated my journal.
Updated my
Norosh
journal.
not. Find him I cannot. Important to the Dustman it is.
I could track him down for you.
Norosh nods again. For making my troubles your troubles, copper coins will I pay. Find the not dustman, deal with him, then return. Norosh will wait.
Very well, I will return when I have found this. Not dustman. Farewell. Okay, we've spoken to everyone in the tavern now that has a name.
Yeah.
So we can just leave. We can
Yeah,
check
let's do that.
These
Let's
bubbling
just go
tanks are
into Sigil.
dispensing their contents into wooden kegs. This is a faint smell of vinegar in the air. Now let's leave, because we've been here for the entire episode, which is almost an hour now.
You can run.
Yes, I know we can run. Oh, it's so dark. Should I was thinking this the last time, maybe I should up the brightness a bit.
It will get lighter if it's daytime.
Yeah, I know, but it's just too dark. I thought for last episode.
Okay.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I always like my. Ooh, we can gathering dust bar. Yes.
No
Fine.
animal sentinel. I have not played Arcanum.
Yeah. He asked me too. Apparently, it's a bit similar. It seems interesting. The Post. Let's talk to the Post. This filthy-looking corpse is in a sad shape. Its shoulders are slumped and one of its legs is broken, causing it to lean to one side. Stains cover it from head to toe. Judging from the smell and the texture, the stains run from rotten fruit to mud and bird droppings. To add to the indignity, graffiti has been carved into its body, and several notices have been nailed into its chest, back, and head. Examine the
I
corpse.
thought I was in bad shape. Don't all those nails hurt?
Examine the corpse. Despite the many stitches, the corpse's rotting skin is peeling in several places, revealing long stretches of muscle and bone. You'd guess that this zombie is frequently used as target practice. The fruit and mud stains aside, some of the tears in its skin have rocks and bits of glass lodged into them. One wicked-looking cobblestone is still embedded in the side of his head. Examine...
Well, let's pry the cobblestone then.
Yeah, pry out the cobblestone. Good. You grab a hold of the cobblestone, pull it out of the corpse's head. Traces of brain matter and rotting flesh slowly drip from it. It looks like whatever was in its head turned to ooze long ago. Examine the
It's
other...
still fluent or liquid, so...
A number of leaflets have been ruined by rain, but some of them are still legible. One tacked to its back is from something called the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. The one on his forehead looks like a bill of fare for a restaurant. One on his chest looks like an official notice, and another appears to be some sort of want ad. Look at the post for the Office of Vermin and Disease Control. Yeah,
We've got a lot of options here again. So.
Yeah, I want to see all of them.
Yep.
Quest. Look at the post for Office of Vermin and Disease Control. For those... Yeah, I'll take this one. You can read the next ones. To those hive citizens wishing gainful employ with the most honourable and generous Sigil government, inquire forthwith at the Office of Vermin and Disease Control to help stem plague of brain rats. Bounties paid. Copper given for each rat tail brought. Tails must be genuine and from rat only. No cat, dog or fiend tail accepted. Office several streets south and west of Mortuary Gate. In Lower Hive, ask for official inspector in charge, the respected Phineas T. Lord. 10, 10, 10, 1, 10. Okay. Examine, show more? Yeah. Examine the other notices. Examine the bill of fare.
Someone has posted a bill of fare for the Gathering Dust Bar, but the bill of fare cannot be read as the words Smoldering Corpse Bar have been scrawled in charcoal over the bill. Corpse Bar?
Smoldering Corpse Bar?
The zombie immediately jerks his left arm upwards and points far to the southeast. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump. Reminds me of a job I once had. He seems embarrassed. Well, I mean, without the arms. That Morty.
I wonder if this works with the other notices. Yeah, we already read this one. So let's examine the official notice. You go. Okay.
Public notice. By the order of the Judiciary Council and in accordance with the citizenry of Sigil, let it be known those defacing a registered servant of the Dustman, either by gravity, malicious attack, or by posting notices, will constitute felonious assault, and the perpetrator will be answerable for the vandalism of said servant by order of the whole speakers. Well, that went smoothly.
Yeah.
Which is funny because everyone has his name on it.
Yes.
Just have to go to the Office for Vermin and Disease Control.
Examine the want ad.
Me again? Or?
Yeah, sure.
Wanted. Able-bodied person willing to investigate a matter of the utmost importance to the Dustman cause. Will offer suitable compensation upon successful completion of said task. Interested parties inquire with Initiate Naroche, Gathering Dust Bar.
Okay,
so we did that already.
Yeah. Those are the other... We've seen all the notices now.
The gravity, yeah.
So now we want to check the... Yeah, ignore the notices, examine the gravity. The gravity runs from obscenities about the Dustman to slogans glorifying what appears to be the local gangs. One piece of graffiti catches your eye. Someone has carved the name Farad on the corpse's left arm, then slashed an X across it.
Updated my journal.
For Rod, the zombie immediately jerks its left arm upwards and points to the west and downwards. A moment later, the arm falls back to its side with a thump.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. Okay, west it is.
All right.
So we need to... How are we... Okay, he's going into the bar probably. So we need to find this dustman, which is not a dustman.
So not obvious? Well, we can try at least.
It's just like, yes, I had some questions. Nothing, never mind, no. I don't know if this is a game where it would be like...
I think it will be a bit more obvious.
Yes. I feel like it's a game that would say like suspicious looking dustman.
Maybe it's on the map.
Open tomb. We came from there. Southeast portion of the hive. The alley of dangerous angles to the northwestern portion of the hive. Dustman monument and the mausoleum.
There's a lot of the map still not explored. So.
Yeah, true.
I will take a look at it, Animal Sentinel. I'm intrigued. I did play. Well, I have it on my. Can't come up with the name for some reason. Torment, Tides of Numenera. But I didn't finish it, which is a bit strange because I really liked how that game was supposed to be played. Oh yeah, we did him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
true death awaits.
And I still want to finish that game, but it takes a lot of time, and I don't have the time. Well, I have the time for this right now, and that's great. But the only thing that held me back with Tides of Numenera, because the quests were great and the conversations were very cool, was that the combat system was thoroughly lacking. But the story, I thought. So I'm not trying to spoil things, because the adventure itself is great and, well, amazing options, even more, far cooler than Torment. But a game still has to. Oh, we're going to another district.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh.
I'm just sort of running around while you're talking.
Right. But I like my combat comprehensive and cool. And that's the thing I found lacking in that game. Seemed a bit arbitrary. But man, the conversations. Ah, okay. Well, good luck, Animal Sentinel, because it is great. I don't want to do it injustice, but it because of the little time I had and my combat experience in the game, I quit playing it, but I want to continue it anyway, so that will happen somewhere in the near future, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think we ran around here.
I think we didn't do anything at the monument.
No.
And
oh, that's true.
We've
only been fighting at the monument, I think.
Yeah, and let's explore the mortuary. Let's just put it on the map.
The mortuary?
Yeah, to the right, upper right. That's the mortuary.
This? Oh.
Here, on the right on the screen. That's the gate to the mortuary. This is where we would have gotten out if we just went through the main gate.
Okay, yeah. Just find everything that's to see here. Dustman. Look at all these Dusties.
And the other thing is, Animal, is that I like to play these kinds of games with another person. And I didn't play that one with another person because I like to discuss which choices we are going to make and that kind of stuff.
The portal is making sound. Is that where we came from?
No, this is where we
No.
have to bend the finger to open the gate.
Yes, yeah.
That's where the Norash mission is.
Yeah, and this is the monument. You want me to check out the monument. Quentin. Hey, Steve Ty. Not to be confused with Steve Vai. Oh, Seth Ty. Sorry, I'm just completely messing up the name.
You go, girl, you go.
Deaf of names, elderly hive dweller. You're all... Okay. Deaf of names sounds interesting.
You see a dustman with a crooked smile frozen on his face. Despite the smile, his eyes are as dull as stones. His right arm is shorter than the left, and he keeps it tucked to his side, as if cradling a small child.
Greetings.
Dustman's eyes slide over you. Name. The way he speaks the word, it sounds like the tolling of a bell.
I don't know.
No name, can't help you. The dustman speaks in a curious singing voice. Need to give a name if you want to see where it's died.
Updated my journal.
What?
Given a name when you're born, give it back when you need it no more. Deaf of names, deaf of names. His eyes swim across the monolith, then the walls of the area. Buried many names here. Deaf of names has. Tell me a name, I'll show you its grave.
Daenora.
His eyes roll to the back of his head, then pop back. With a wild gleam, his eyes run across the walls of the monument, scanning the names at inhuman speed. He then points at a section of the wall. Buried.
Examine the spot he's pointing at.
Chiseled into the black stone, in tiny cramped writing, is the name you requested. It is almost lost beneath the sea of names around it.
I had another name.
Once again, his eyes seem to slide over you. Name. The way he speaks the word, it sounds like the tolling of a bell. Okay.
Adam?
He shakes his head. Not that yet. That name is not buried here. Not time. Not time.
Can you bury a name for me?
He nods, then unfolds his small hand from where it's cradled on his side. It looks atrophied.
Atrophy.
It is the size of a child's hand. Atrophied? It is the size of a child's hand. Cost chink to bury a name. 3 coppers. Free. Oh.
Oh, no name
Those are
today.
still alive. So.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Steve I. Seth Ty. This woman's face looks broken, and she's covered in scars. They look like bite marks and fingernail cuts. She's cradling the shreds of several rags in her hands and is staring emptily at the wall of the monument, and the names there. Greetings. Shh, get you back, the woman's teeth peeled back, displaying a row of black canines. What you want of Seth Ty?
What's the matter?
What's wrong? Those chaos men wrecked my cart, attacked me, and killed 3 of my sisters who tried to stop them. No sisters anymore, now there's nothing but names on this memorial wall.
Oh.
Chaos men?
Yeah, well, I'll give you a list.
You give me a list of what?
These are the factions.
Oh wait,
I'm just going to
wait,
name
I'm going to, if we're doing this, then we're doing it properly. Let's go to this, and let's go to this. Story time with Jasper.
I'm just going to tell you, there's this great content in the Factors Manifesto, which really lists all the factions, and with one sentence explains what they are about.
Okay.
So here we go. Atar, who claim the gods are frauds. You probably like them. Believers of the Source, who test themselves for godhood. The Bleak Cabal, who find no sense in the multiverse. Doomguard, who celebrate destruction and decay. Dustmen, who believe we are already dead. Fated, who take all they can and more. Fraternity of Order, who discover laws to get at the truth. Free League, who prize the individual above all. Harmonium, who enforce peace through might. Mercy Killers, who bring justice to the deserving. Revolutionary League, who topple the structures of power. Sign of One, who place each being at the center of all. Society of Sensation, who find truth only in experience. Transcendent Order, who act before they think, if they think at all. Chaositex, who spread beauty through chaos. So those are the factions.
Interesting.
The Chaos Man, I can show you this because it's so very funny. She refers to him. So what does this book tell you about the Chaositex, which it says they are called? So you want to join up? Okay, you're in. What? Tell you what the Chaositex are about? Well, I guess I could. Let's see. We support? No, I'm sorry. That's someone else. We don't support anything. That's what we are about. Have you ever eaten at vendors? Good variety. I ate there today and I had an owlbear egg omelette. I don't know where they got the owlbear egg. The dog I had as a kid looked a lot like an owlbear, except smaller and no beak. I talked to a frog last week, or last month. He seemed a little mean at first, but I left him alone, and he left me alone. That's what the Chaositex are all about, after all. Leaving a cutter alone to do his own thing. Have you ever been anywhere with a moon? Seen place in When Eyes of Wonderful? Through the multiverse, the chaos? Did I mention chaos? Everything is chaos, Burke, so live with it. Be a part of it. A part of it be. Part be of it. Be a part of. Be a part it. Part it, be of. A. Know what I mean? And that's what we are all about. I have an itch, and it sounds like purple. The next time I see a Burke, it's over for him. Be one with the chaos. A rat ran down the clock. Or be two with it. I don't care. Dooney sent to see a juggler. I'm not getting another sword until I need one. By the powers. Which brings me to the next point. Who are you? Join what? Oh. Basher, Burke, Cutter, Clerk. Chaos is the only way. Dustman, Bleaker, Doomguard, Salt. That's where I'll go tonight. Over here, under there, down to one, up to him. Governor, Signer, Cipher, Harmonium. Become a myriad one. That's what the Chaositex are all about. I think I'll quit. Of course, it doesn't rhyme. Haven't you been listening? Whenever you want to do something, do it. And tell some of the rest of us about it because we want to do it too. If it's quick. The more you plan, the more the multiverse unplans. Or it just ain't natural. Chaos gazing by upon of learning, it appreciates randomness to its intricacies, understanding sublime, and of the multiverse secrets where we reveal in the chaos, play and be played. And then and it goes on.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's so amazing.
I like them already. It's basically what goes on in my head 24/7.
Yeah. So, but imagine reading that in a gaming product.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You would expect that from a like a Weiss and Hickman book or something, or not necessarily Weiss and Hickman. There's like, you know, you're reading a fantasy novel and there's this old wizard, crazy mad wizard or whatever. So the start reminded me a bit of Zivnop. That's I think why I mentioned Weiss and Hickman.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaotic. Anyway,
Chaotic as could be.
Let's get back into it.
No.
Zip.
Yeah.
So, Chaos Man Affections, they says, what they are is an adult bunch that runs wild through the hive and does whatever they please. They never did no harm to them. Then they lope in like dogs and tear apart anything that's within their reach.
Or these Chaos Men who attacked you.
The Hiver gang, a bunch of adult sots. They call themselves the starved dogs barking and some such barmy nonsense.
Okay, and penning some men in the dead book. Their actions were unjust. If you wish, I can see what the matter is rectified. 3 deaths among the starved dogs. That's what we are about?
Eye for an eye. Balance.
Or not?
Must be balance in
Maybe.
all things.
I like option 2.
Yeah, me too. I'm not about killing people for money. That's. But we can see if the matter could be rectified.
Wait. You
Uh,
hired an assassin for $1 million? I would have done it for free.
what's that from?
Nothing.
Oh.
It's just that we said we don't like to do it for money.
Oh yeah. Their actions were unjust. If you wish, I can see that the matter is rectified. If 3 deaths they caused, then 3 deaths shall these starved dogs suffer.
A copper earring in your purse if you pen 3 of those murdering sots in the dead book, Jake.
I'll see to it that they are put in the dead book. Can you tell me where they might be found?
Go out the south gate skyward from here. Then walk around the block until you come to a place where men run in circles, howling at the sick sky. There's the starved dogs, they are.
Yeah, I've been to that block. It's the one with all the harlots and the drunks south of here. I'll go there and return shortly.
Updated my journal.
So we have killed some of them already. Will that count? No?
I don't know.
Killed at least 3, I think.
Yeah. No, she wants
Okay,
me.
so we have to start this right now.
Yeah. Quinton.
It explains why they just attacked us.
Man-
Shall I do Quinton?
Yeah,
Or do you
sure.
do it? The man before you looks to be be middle of height and years. He is stout with a thick, bullish neck, and his shoulders are hunched, as if a great weight was pressing upon them. He wears an impatient look as he stares at the black monolith in front of him.
Greetings.
The man throws you a glance. There's room, Cutter. No need to ask me to leave. No need to ask my leave to stand here.
Actually, I wanted to know what this monolith was.
It's a tombstone for the plains, he scoffs. Graveyards of names are scratched on its rock. Can only hope my name's the one that'll split the stone in twain. He points at the base of the monolith. Quinton, right there. Hammered in just hard enough to send the damned thing crashing down.
Tombstone for the plains.
Aye, Quinton smiles ruefully. The Dusties scratched the names of the dead on this monument here. He gestures around him. And on the walls of this place. Not enough space by my reckoning. But no matter. They do their best. Can barely read half the names.
What are you doing here?
Reading the new arrivals. Try and find a new one every day. Try and remember if I knew him. Nothing more.
The dustmen
Oh, I
record
like this voice, by the way.
the dustmen record the names of all that have died on this monument.
Aye, they scratch him on this rock and scratch him on the walls in this place too, Quinton scoffs. I don't know why they take the trouble to take a counting of the dead. The Dusties have more care for the living.
The living?
Aye, you know about the dustman mourners that's come to this place? They aren't mourning the dead, see? They're mourning the living. You can barely get a word in them, edgewise, without them asking to mourn some poor living bird for you.
Why do they mourn the living?
You got me there, Cutter, he shrugs. Might want to put the question to them. Seems to me the dead are thrice worth the pity of the poor sod living in this pit. He nods at the monument. Every name on here is blessed in my book. It is.
Ever know anyone who came back after their name was put on there?
You mean come back from death? Quentin shakes his head. No, not a one, Cutter. Everything that lives dies, and that's the way of things, he shrugs. Still, considering the planes go on forever and all, I suppose anything is possible.
I suppose so. Say, I had some other questions for you.
No harm in asking, Cutter.
Can you tell me who that crazy dustman is on the other side of the monolith?
Quentin smirks. Not the sanest bird in the cackle house, is he? That barmy's deaf of names, Quentin scoffs, though deaf of sense might fit him better.
What does he do here?
He's the keeper of the memorial area, knows where all the names are around here, and he can point one out of if you need them to. He's a little adult to be sure, but he's helped me a few times, he shrugs. He's also got the duty of carving new names in when their owners pass on.
I see, thanks. The obsidian monument has names chiseled in it.
There was the old lady, or is she gone?
What? There's no old lady. These were the three inside, I think. High thug.
And there again. So let's do some cleaning of. Oh, Ingress! Click Ingress! So fast, click her. Put the space bar. Yeah, there you go.
You see a haggard woman wrapped in
sorry.
rags.
Yeah, you go. Yeah.
Her hair is disheveled and dirty, and her complexion is extremely dark. Burns cover her arms, and her right hand is a fused lump of flesh. It looks melted, like wax exposed to a great heat.
Updated my journal.
What is it you want me? The woman's accent is thick, and you are having difficulty making out what she's saying. You wanted me to leave? Not leaving this city, so I'm not. I can't try it. It's not a city, it's a prison to everywhere.
Everywhere?
There's worlds, there's... Her eyes gleam madly. Plains that be sinking sands, fields thirsty nettles be, sightless worlds where your limbs are given life and hate, cities of dust whose people are dust and whisper ash. The house without doors, the twilit lands, the singing winds, the singing winds. She starts to sob quietly, but she seems all out of tears. And shadows, the terrible shadows there be.
Where are these places?
Where's them places? She flings the lump of her right hand in an arc, gesturing at the cityscape. This is all here be, doors here to be everywhere.
Doors?
You're not knowing this? She squints at you and her teeth start chattering. Tell you I will. Beware every space you walk through and touch in thrice cursed city. Doors, gates, arches, windows, picture frames, the open mouth of a statue, the spaces between shelves. Beware any space bounded on all sides. All these are doors to other places.
What do you mean?
Every door has a key, it does, and with this key it is shown the true nature. An arch becomes a portal, a picture frame becomes a portal, a window becomes a portal, all eager to take you someplace else, to steal you away. She raises the lump of her right hand, and sometimes what's on the other side takes part of you as the tithe.
What are these keys?
The keys number as many as the doors of this city. Every door key, every key a door. Her teeth start chattering again, and as if she's cold. And a key is anything. It might be an emotion, an iron nail held between your second and fifth fingers. A thought 3 times, then the thought once in reverse, or it may be a glass rose.
And these are all keys that open these doors?
Updated my journal.
Yes. Her teeth start chattering and she clenches her mouth close and squints her eyes. Yes. Can't leave.
How did you get here?
Updated my journal.
She seems to calm slightly and her eyes take on 1,000 leagues there. Came from a place else from here almost a life ago. Hummed a tune by a glade with 2 dead trees that had fallen together. A brilliant door opened in the space between the crossed trees, showed me the city on the other side. I stepped through, ended here.
Why can't you go back?
Tried. She tries to sob again, but no tears come. Tried. All doors here lead to other places. She shudders and grips her melted right hand. Went through thrice 10 portals, some purpose, some accident, none of them right. Can't find my way back.
There must be a portal that can take you back.
Can't even leave here, this square, and there's the place of death behind the gate waits for me. She points at the mortuary behind the gate and then turns back to you, her face desperate. Can't go anywhere in this city.
You can't go anywhere? What do you mean?
Anything could be a door, any arch there, any door there, here. Could be a portal, don't know the key, could get a center, another horrible place. Her teeth start chattering again. Got to stay away from the closed spaces, or could be doors, could have a key on me, and I don't be knowing it.
You're afraid to go through any door or arch because it might be a portal?
She nods, her teeth chattering.
Have you been afraid of this?
She squints. Since the last time I walked through the last portal, the place where me hand, she stops. Since my 10th turning, I'm in my 4th, 10th turning that now. Her teeth begin chattering again.
30 years? You haven't walked through any door for 30 years?
Her vision seems to clear slightly. She looks up at you, her teeth still chattering.
Okay, if you got here, you must be a portal in the back to me too. 1. Dat wil je wat hoop geven of?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I talk Dutch.
Shall we give her some hope?
Realized it. Yeah, we should give her some hope. Yeah.
You also had a funny thing where you read the Dustman as the Dutchman.
Yeah, I did. Well, that's cool.
She smiles. Her teeth aren't chattering because she's cold. They are moving around inside her mouth, her gums twisting as the teeth shift about. They rise and recede as you watch, chattering as they wrestle against each other.
What?
She hisses at you. Only takes one portal, you steps through accident to drive the fear into you. I went through thrice 10, lost me hand, burned me flesh and lost my sense. She looks at her feet. No more, no more.
I'm sorry. If I can find some means to help you, I will. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
Updated my journal. Okay.
But you could do more with her. Well, maybe that's when you...
Frightened Hive Dweller. So, Hive Thug. The Post. We had to go to the south where people were running around. Are we sure that we had to fight them here? The thugs?
The place where the harlots were, is what they were saying, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they be here.
Looks like the Dusties lost one of the deaders.
Talking about, right?
I mean, there's like a what's this? A huge monument. No, I thought that we have the alley of dangerous angles.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Shall we do the tomb first?
Yeah, the mausoleum. I want to fight some stuff, man. No, that's not true. I want to talk my way through some fights. It's more likely. Look, there is literally a bunch of thugs here, so we could just start a fight here. Shalandra's Kip. Interesting, but we're not supposed to.
I don't remember if that was important or not.
Whoops. The mausoleum. You go.
The spectral figure materializes from the gloom of the passageway ahead and quickly moves to block your path. It floats before you, its once human features twisted in a mask of rage.
Defilers, leave this place at once!
Greetings.
Okay, that's bad for my voice. Leave now. It's booming. Oh. Leave now. Its booming voice echoes down the halls. This place is forbidden to the living. Leave while you still can.
First, I have some questions.
Seek your answers elsewhere. This place is a sanctuary for the dead. I shall not permit that slumber to be disturbed by the intrusion of yet another insolent mortal.
Another? Has someone else been here?
If you must know, yes, there is another intruder who, even now, continues to violate the sanctity of these hallowed halls. The anger in the spirit's voice fades. He seems somewhat saddened by the admission. The souls of my brothers and sisters cry out for peace.
Who is this other intruder?
He is an evil coward who wields great power over the dead. He seeks something within these halls. What it might be, or what its purpose is in seeking it, I cannot say.
Why don't you drive this intruder away?
I cannot. The coward has sealed himself within the inner chamber of the mausoleum. He has erected powerful wards that bar my entrance into the chamber. It is from there that he calls upon his dark arts to awaken my brethren and bend them to his evil will.
Perhaps I may be of assistance to you?
The spirit remains silent for several long moments. You can almost feel the weight of his lifeless gaze upon you. Yes, you might prevail where I have failed. If you will pledge to rid me of this black guard, I shall grant you passage. What say you?
I'll do it.
Updated my journal.
So be it. The spirit slowly begins to fade until only the echoing of his disembodied voice remains. But take heed. Treat lightly in these walls. Wish you joke
Awesome. Okay. Actually, wanna grab a quick drink if you don't mind. Can you?
Yeah, I want to. I'm a bit thirsty too. I'm going to grab some as well. Back in 2.
Wait. Oh man. I made this amazing. How are we going to do this? I was hoping that Jasper would keep you guys entertained while I got something to drink, and now he just disappeared on me. So, how are we all doing in chat? 8 viewers. Who's in chat? Let's see. Doesn't work that well, this list. Oh. Yeah, there's a couple. Alright, cool. Marineus, Commander Root, Hot Local Mom. Shit. Yeah. Alright. Cool, some people in chat, some people are watching. It's okay, you can grab a drink. Okay, Animal Sentinel, you keep people entertained while I'm away. Drop some hardcore Planescape knowledge, go.
I'm back. Thank you, Animal Sentinel. So glad we can. It's all this voice acting, you know. Yeah, senseis are great. If I could live a life like that, without the responsibility of all other kinds of things you have to do in life, then that would be a way. But the thing is, with all these factions, I think, none of them are really suited for a life that takes in consideration any type of environment. Because they are all, in the end, I think, a bit suicidal. Not in a... It's just what happens, you know. If you're in the Free League and you start a revolution, then, well, people will be killed, and if you are a sensate and you want to experience poison, well, the obvious thing might happen. But if I think I would still choose the sensates though, because they are fun. So no, I think they're the most fun. They're a bit strict or strange. Looking for the book right now. Evils of the Sorcerer's School. Coax metal? No. The name doesn't ring a bell. But do you mean in this game or in one of the adventures or in the campaign setting?
I'm back.
Yeah.
Likes the Senate's the best.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm going to...
You have this Faces of Sigil book, which is cool. But of course the names aren't listed in alphabetical order. So there's that. Okay, I think then I might know who he was, and I will not try to spoil anything for Michel. But then yes, I did. And a very short counter. if I recall. But we'll see, right?
Maybe we'll see this person. Shall we continue?
Yes, we will.
We were in the mausoleum. We are about to fight some... Oh, we're not... Maybe not going to fight. We don't know. A spirit. We told the spirit that we could probably help him out by clearing some stranger from the mausoleum. So let's go. Nothing in the back? No, that's the exit.
Did we save or do we not
No, we
want
didn't
to save?
save.
Okay.
Save.
Doesn't matter to me. We didn't even make an episode 3 save.
No, we didn't. So let's make a new save. PP.
PP.
Episode 3. Oh, you hate that. Is it a 3? I don't know. The mouse. House. Okay. We got a map.
Yes.
Always go left first.
Yeah, that's the rule, right?
Yep. So people in chat who ouch. There's traps? Man, maybe we should send Morty to explore first.
Oh, we heal.
It's true. They should... they're not going to leave us alone, are they? These are probably controlled by the... Yeah, no. Attack! Attack!
Damn it.
So much for talking our way out of this.
Did you see that?
No items, no. Okay. Bash your heads in. Damage.
Bash.
4.
Which is funny because we have an SA of 10 and we haven't even been hit.
Rags. Bandages. Cloth charm. Copper commons. So yeah, I just...
Let's narrate everything. Let's narrate everything.
Well, I mean, I'd like to wall. I like to imagine that people can listen to Parallel Projections as a podcast while they're in their car driving. They're stuck in
full silent and
they're stuck in LA traffic. Oh, there's actually, whoa, where did that guy come from?
Out of the shadows.
Yeah, he did.
Regular Batman.
Oh, he's hitting us now.
But that's a funny thing you're saying. Would anybody be doing this as a listening to this only without any video?
I think we should aspire to have people listen to us as a podcast. I'm hitting the skeleton with my
Mortuary
great
isn't
maul
doing anything,
while
right?
Morty is not doing anything. I've just directed him to attack the skeleton, and he does. We are killing the skeleton, which is funny because the skeleton is already dead.
Done.
I do wonder where they were coming from, but
True Animal Sentinel. Someone made a book of all the dialogue in the game. Wow,
it's a big book.
that's a big book.
I mean, I think that all the dialogue that I've read thus far, so in the 6 hours that we've been playing this game, we can fill a pretty big book already.
Yeah, it's amazing how much text they put in this book. Even tweaking such little things about when you ask the same questions, you know.
Damn it.
So we are getting our asses handed to us by now. I mean, there is a lot of them. We're still fine though.
Did you see that?
For all our podcast listeners, we're just bashing some skeletons' skulls.
Here we go. Those are all the hits that we're doing. Like
Damage
3,
3, damage 2, damage 3.
Morty is MVP.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but if we do if we would be doing this as a podcast, do we have to describe everything we see then? So we're walking through this metal corridor or something.
I do feel that we're skipping a chamber now. We're literally walking all around this.
We'll see. We made the right choice. We went left. So
yeah, that's true. You always.
Uh-oh.
Okay, wait.
Morty first.
Hold on 1 second.
So now we're running away.
Yeah,
Running away.
Running away, brave sir. The nameless one ran away. I can heal with the bandages, right?
Yeah, but you can heal by just resting as well.
Yeah, but we are under attack, Jasper. Can we rest right now? Can I just press R?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Can you rest by pressing R? Game pause. Select
Press R?
spell.
I don't know.
Do I have spells? I have the reanimate thing.
It's when you press the right mouse button on the screen while combat is going on. Do you get the radio menu?
Radio manual? What you talking about?
Menu, yeah.
No, this is the right. Is it?
Maybe it's only when you're in combat. When the skeleton appears, let's check that.
Okay, I can check that.
Because I always use that one, and it was great.
Shall I use a bandage?
I think you're too afraid. I just think we send Morty in, and then.
Okay, we'll send Morty into tank in. Formations. No. That line. Sure. Morty. No.
All right.
Morty in front. No, I want more. I want.
Okay, I think you can shift the portraits around, right?
You cannot change the.
Oh, okay.
I'm gone.
Except for the-
Okay. Let's go. As soon as we see him, Morty, you go in.
You
go.
press pause.
You go in.
then
You
you-
hurt him hard.
You clickety clickety.
Clickety clickety. You go. No.
Are you doing a clickety clickety right now?
What?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, we're there. And now I can check the radio menu.
Oh,
Morty.
why is Morty not?
Morty, what you doing? Come on. Come on, man.
I'm hurt.
Can you do the? Oh.
Ah, great. I hope he doesn't lose his memories this time.
Feels like I've been strained through
Ah,
someone's
cool.
bowels.
Let's talk to Morty.
Had to
Let's
happen
talk to Morty.
sometime. For all our podcast listeners,
What's the word, Chief?
we just
We died.
We just
What's up?
Right.
Yeah?
yeah.
It was well worth it.
Huh? What?
You're too afraid.
What's up,
You
Chief?
just send in Morty
The
first.
balloon
What's the
icon.
word, Chief?
You know.
Yeah, it's not getting a balloon.
What's up?
Okay.
Good as done.
Oh, and next to your portrait on the bar.
Oh, that yes, thank you.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
How did you die, Morty? No idea, Chip.
No idea, Chief. I kind of forgot how I died. Can't say I blame myself much. At least there was something waiting for me after I died, even if it's live as a floating skull. I mean, it could have been worse.
What happened to your body?
I don't know. All right, it's just gone. Morty glares at you, but don't think I miss it, because I'm happy just the way I am, and I don't need your half-wit judgments or snide remarks. All right?
I see. Whatever, let's go. Come on, shake a leg.
Morty glares at you. I'm not convinced you aren't some sort of walking curse that's destined to follow me around.
You see, Jasper, so I'm checking chat right now, and I see that Animal Sentinel is advising me to use bandages. So maybe he should be sitting where you are sitting, because sending in Morty was your plan, and that failed horribly. Oh, don't go. No, don't go.
Okay, I'm returning. Having too much fun. Well, I must say, I thought that resurrection would be more.
The funnier option.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
let's go downstairs. Let's walk out of the main door and just bluff our way.
Oh, they do leave you all your stuff then.
Yeah, so that's no problem either.
So what's this? Speed 10 to slashing. One sec. Oh yeah. So yeah, we wanted this one. Oh, man.
Gather your party before venturing forth. Oh, there's the
gone.
exit.
Run for the exit.
Yeah, it's true what he says, using the bandages. But didn't the rest button work for you, or?
If the rest button is pressing R, then it didn't work.
On the radio menu there's a rest button, so maybe we could try that. Maybe it shows.
What?
that
Yeah, but I
pops up.
tried to press the right mouse button to get that radio manual you keep talking about, and it didn't appear.
Done.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is still one of my favorites for many reasons, and each part has its own kind of charm to it. Really like Baldur's Gate. I played through it a while ago, and then I got the Dragon Spear Enhanced Edition, or the in-between adventure from the same as who made the Enhanced Edition for this one, which is about what happens between Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. and I'm playing that with another friend casually on Thursdays. But I must say my Thursdays have been so busy that I haven't gotten around to playing it anymore. But it's cool. It's a modern take on with large maps and well, surprisingly big dungeons with intricate design and everything. Better than Baldur's Gate was it on its own. Well, I have to say the technology is better than Baldur's Gate.
So there's no radio menu appearing. So
No.
the guy's hitting me super hard. So we have. How do I use my quick items?
Through the radio menu, I don't
Here's
understand
rest
why you
party.
can't pop up. Well, you're on pause now, right? You paused the game. Just press OK. And now, right click on yourself or on the
Nope,
target.
doesn't work.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work.
Did
No.
they skip the radio menu? I can't imagine they did. Why would they do that? It was one of the greatest things. Shift right click. Screen somewhere.
Wait, let's check the options. Options, gameplay. Tooltip de gore, heal on rest. Why is that turned off? Enables the option to rest repeatedly, casting healing spells until fully. Oh, what?
Yeah, that's okay. You can put it on because you want that anyway.
Oh, this is
And-
the max HP on level up.
But we weren't going to do that?
No, we weren't going to do that. I'm going to turn on always run because I
Yeah,
keep
that's a
forget
good idea.
shift. The shift button. Show enemy health status.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, enable cloud saves. Yeah. Frame rate, right. Assign keys. Inventory. Character quick slots. Weapon slots, item slots. Pre-spells, miscellaneous, quick load, navigation, open dialogue, center character, toggle AI. Zoom in, zoom out. It's don't see any radio menu. Are you
Maybe they left it out in the enhanced edition.
Are you sure it was in this game?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, Animal Sentinel, it was in this game, right? Or didn't you play the original one? Did you play the enhanced edition? Don't make me look like a fool. But anyway, when on the 5, yeah, there you can select an item.
F1. Okay, great. Just, yep, do it.
Just click it.
You should be doing it right now.
Damn it.
No?
Maybe run away.
That? Talk
Hi.
about beating a dead horse.
Feels like I've been through a shredder.
Oh, this is getting annoying now.
I turned on auto always run.
I'm gone.
This game. Now it's just messing with us.
Done.
Look at TNO's AC.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, we don't
Terrible.
have any armor. We are naked. We should
But
get some armor.
Just send Morty in, only Morty this time.
Okay, I will. I will listen to you. Worked out great the first time. Let's go.
Well, you
No, no,
did
no,
it
no, no,
wrong.
no, 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 no.
You
no.
did it wrong.
Maybe we should. You know what's going to happen. We're going to defeat that guy, maybe die a couple of more times. Then at one point we will decide to go into one of these corridors right here and discover that there's like
Oh, okay. Respawn.
yeah. Well, let's
No,
farm
that
some.
was-
Let's farm some XP then.
Yeah, just raise our level by 10,
See that?
but just killing 65 XP monsters.
Hey, if we level up and we up our dexterity, then we also improve our AC.
It has to be 15 to improve, I want to say. Remember? 2nd edition D&D?
I remember. Just why did you take away my hope? Oh,
Because I can.
The enemies respawn, but the loot doesn't. What is this game even? I don't know.
Right click is not working, right?
What?
Right click wasn't working.
For the radio manual? No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know if I'm missing anything. Toggle. Open dialogue window. Lock view.
Maybe do not.
So we can rest. There is like a rest party. It's too dangerous to rest here. Okay.
Dangerous to rest here.
So what did you say?
I just sent Mortine.
I'm gone.
Okay, I will.
Again? So the question now is, will he have his full hit points again? Oh.
Oh yeah, first.
Did you see that? Damn it.
Hitting us hard, man.
Damn.
Also, like pressing F1 to use the item doesn't use the item. Really? Ah, wait. Okay, I have to press the target. Does it work over there? No, it doesn't.
Did you see that?
Now it works. Ah, okay. I have to keep.
Okay. So does Morta have any special abilities if you kick him?
Guard.
Huh? What?
Stat screen. Look, he has armor class of 2.
Yeah, it's much better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alignment by now.
Hmm?
Rid of the radio manual. Why? Why did they get rid of the radio manual? I thought that was one of the better inventions when it came out. What do you think?
I mean, I know the radio manuals from other games, and I usually love it.
Done.
It would have made total sense to me if they had a radio manual.
You could select what kind of spell, and then you could select the level, and then...
Yeah, I know this from Neverwinter Nights, or I think even Dragon Age and stuff had like...
Yeah, Dragon Age had it as well.
Radio manuals. Love radio manuals. They look great. Okay, you stay here. You go kick his ass.
Okay, so maybe put off the AI.
Toggle AI. Yeah.
Okay, so now walk in with our hero. Start helping Morty.
No, Morty's doing great.
Oh.
Look at him. He's biting him to death. And he's missing. He keeps missing us. You do it, Morty. I'll be right here.
175 XP. So I always like the progression experience points in the second edition. What was it again?
Jasper,
7?
I owe you an apology for doubting you. Your plan was correct. Send in Morty. I should not have doubted you.
I know.
I should not have doubted you.
Thank you so much. It really makes my day, my evening. What was I saying? Now I can't remember what I was saying.
Okay, so what I did now was walk this way. So when I walk back, this is now actually a left. So we can finally go into this hallway here.
Yeah, we try so shift click on the enemy to run towards it. I like to play without artificial intelligence, by the way, because that's you have more control on what's.
I don't know what the AI, what the toggle AI means. Does it toggle the AI of the enemies or of your party members, or both? Does it do other enemies?
Die.
It helps you in directing your characters towards the right enemy instead of them auto-attacking, for example. But the bad thing is that if you don't give them a command, it might be that they aren't attacking at all.
Okay, yeah. I usually play games with the AI off then. I like to do everything manually. Silver ring. This simple band of silver has no ornamentation. It may have once been a wedding ring. Whatever its past purpose, it may be worth a few coins to the local merchant. Alright. So how is his... yeah, his inventory is great. So we can drop these here. I can drop that one there. Doesn't mention... Charcoal, charm, iron spike. We have so many.
So we podcast fans, we
we
we succeeded in killing the big skeleton.
Yeah. So for all our podcast listeners, we just defeated the big giant skeleton in the corridor after resurrecting a second
horrible, horrible.
I will make this a thing.
Yeah.
To all our podcast listeners, thank you so. Okay. So there's a secondary rule to the always go left rule, and that's always finish the floor you're on first before moving to your next.
No, it's how the way you're on the same map. It's just how the corridors run.
Oh wait, but I can't go back.
No, you can't. Oh, that's cool.
I'm hurt.
Not to be.
You aren't attacking them, so that's the drawback of the AI. You have to attack them.
Yep.
What's the word?
Yep.
Okay.
You.
All right.
Let's not die again.
What? Now it is going.
What's up? Sure.
What's
why not?
happening here? Where? Oh, he's. This is. Okay.
Yeah.
Morty's level up.
Yeah. Drops is to hit armor class 0 by 1 point, so that's a thing we have to do. We get him better with his teeth.
Level up. Fighting skills have improved. 6 hit points gained. That's 4 more than the last time. 2 hit points gained from con bonus. Okay.
We're playing it hardcore.
Yeah, we are playing it hardcore. We're not doing the... the first time he leveled up, he got 1 or 2 hit points. I think 2.
2, yeah.
Which for a fighter is not great.
6 isn't even great.
I'm gone.
No, I know. Although 6 on a d10.
Oh, it's average.
It's 1 above average.
Half above average.
Yeah, okay, sure. If you want to get technical.
In the 5th edition books, it says if you decide to pick a number, it will be 6. So.
Yeah.
And it's our home rule as well, I think. Well, not exactly. If you roll lower than a 6, you get a 6.
I can turn on quick loot. What does that do? Not much.
Everything in the...
Bone charm. I got one of those.
Oh, it toggles the bar for everything that's in your
Can I rest already?
vicinity.
It's too dangerous to rest here.
Yeah, press R for always run.
Oh no!
Oh.
It's one of those guys again. Wait.
Huh?
You Morty, you take him. Take him down. You know what to do. You did it
See
before.
Damn it.
But is he level 5 now or is he level 3?
Bite him until death. We can... He is level 4.
Damn it.
Damn it. Thanks, Animal Sentinel. Indeed, pressing R will may turn on the auto run, which already
Good as done.
turned on, I thought, but apparently didn't.
You just take left, it wasn't the left. Oh,
Sorry?
getting really confusing about what is the left right now.
Well, it's there, the character's left. Right?
Yeah, but that... no,
So this
left.
is left. Yeah, this is left. You're true. It's true. I got confused
I'm
while,
true.
while I was
I'm true.
walking here. So why doesn't... Oh, I turned it
Oh,
off.
Animal, I think it's really cool you joined us for the second time.
All right.
I have to tell you that, and gives us such great comments.
Yes. We appreciate your input.
I'm hurt. Done.
Man. Nameless one, you're pretty useless. Just stand over there and be pretty.
That's not going to happen.
What?
Okay, attack.
Done.
So I could draw a rectangle on screen, but I can't do it anymore for some reason.
You can't draw a rectangle. It's a rectangle.
Yeah. I've done it before, but...
Yeah.
Good as done.
You see?
Oh, you're doing great, Animal. As long as you don't spoil the adventure for Michel, I'm fine with everything you're saying. Or typing, or whatever.
Left.
Oh, by now you've only started this channel like, how many months has it been?
Well, I think somewhere in April.
So, and this is our third project we are doing, and it's quite different than the other two. But we are enjoying it very much. And as you, I notice we're still getting the hang of some things, but that's part of the fun for us. Oh.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Good as done.
That's part of the fun for us. So.
Yeah.
We went so well when we just entered this. We were kicking ass, picking names, you know. But now it's just getting our asses whooped.
Luckily, there's a boss to this dungeon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Hopefully, we can rest before that because the nameless one doesn't even get a chance to heal up.
Damn it. Damn it.
So do we know where to go yet?
Abort all actions, formations. Just want to see if there's a option that I selected.
If you ever want to see us play Dungeons and Dragons, just join us on the other Monday.
I think he saw the trailer, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so the thing where the skeleton was appears to be where we have to go.
Yeah. So we did everything. So, add a node. Leads to B. This is B.
Leads B. Okay.
Sorry. So there's no enemies here anymore. So that's. Why is R not? Why is R not the rest button? No, I can't rest. Okay. R was the outer run. Yeah. So that's why I keep doing that, because I try to rest and then I actually turn off the outer run. I suggest.
Yeah.
We save the game.
That's safe.
In the mouse house. Save. Are you sure you want to override it? Yes. Let's go.
Me too.
Let's go, man.
Oh.
You see a mid-sized man in long robes of deep black. His hair is neatly coiffed, and an impeccable trimmed goatee complements his handsome features. Noticing your arrival, he puts down the book he was writing in and strides confidently over to you, smiling. Impressive, I must admit. I never thought you would make it this far.
I am glad to have disappointed you. Are you the one responsible for all the Walking Dead? Oh, there are more options.
Yeah. But you wanna... we're taking the first one?
Yeah.
Who I am is of no consequence to you. What I want is the question that should concern you most. As he speaks, he looks you up and down, as if somehow fascinated by you.
Well, let's do option 1 again. Very well. What do you want? Because it's the red button, right?
He takes a step back and cocks an eyebrow. I want your blood.
2 is cool, but I think... Is that some kind of threat?
The man starts to answer, but stops himself abruptly. An evil smile spreads across his face as he begins to laugh. Yes, I suppose it is. He continues to laugh even harder at his own private joke. You notice that his hands have begun to move at his side. Slowly they flit back and forth, tracing intricate patterns in the air. He is casting a spell. Shroud of Shadows. Attack.
Press the spacebar. Do we have any items that can help us in this case? Because
yeah, there's these charms that we can use, right?
Heals you somewhat and gives you some resistance to the skeleton attacks.
Yeah, so I did that. Contained within the... oh yeah, that's like a swarm thing.
Insect swarm.
Insect swarm, yeah. This was... True, it's just 4-headed zombies. Oh yeah, that's a resurrection type thing. We only have one of these. Temporary... Yeah, a heat. No. Okay.
We have the better quad on the bar. Don't know.
Yeah, +2 to armor class. Bone charm. We have 2 of them. Yeah, use.
Are we using them all together now? I don't know if that works.
I don't know if it works. Heal 27 hit points. Reduces fatigue. Okay. We can use that one for as well. So
I don't think you can take them all at once though, but oh, you can apparently.
What is he doing?
I don't know, but it's working.
He's working super. I can't control him.
Oh, he's feared. Okay, press the Morty isn't doing anything. Maybe you have Morty kill the mage while he's running around and chasing the skeletons.
Yeah, sounds great. Sounds like a plan.
Did you see that?
Oh, hurry back.
Oh, there we go.
I'm sorry, I'm so bad at this game. It just the controls seem to be changing continuously. Like I don't understand why I can't do the rectangle anymore, for example. Yeah, good to save. Yeah, luckily I did. But in the end, we didn't need to save. We kicked his ass. I never doubted that we would kick his ass. Of course.
So the funny thing is that because he got feared, all the skeletons went after him.
Yeah, it was great. It worked out great. I just didn't notice that Morty wasn't doing anything. Because I keep thinking that I've selected both of them, and apparently I haven't. Scroll of Ice Knife bracelet. Done.
Magic item.
Awesome.
I'm hurt.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and dying. Yeah.
What kind of condition do we have on us?
Rest party? Still too dangerous.
Where can we rest?
Oh, okay, we have no conditions on us anymore. Okay, so what do we have? We have a skull. Taking it.
Yeah.
Ooh, and more. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to clear our inventory. This is a generic human skull. It's not as talkative as Morty, but perhaps that's just as well. Morty, you carry the skull, please. Thank you. Bracelet. This bracelet looks like to be made of silver and has a semi-precious gem mounted to the top of it. Identify. Well, don't give me the option if I can't. I mean, I thought you were asking me if I wanted to identify him.
Yeah, where are you going? Yeah, okay. You're just putting it on. Might be cursed, you know. But okay.
Hey.
That's the red button. I know it's the red button.
But where does it go? To two.
Maybe just click on the body with it. Goes into the right spot.
Huh?
Maybe click on the body.
Here.
Yeah.
Cannot use
Doesn't
item.
that work?
Cannot use item is what it says. Okay, let's get the
Animal Sentinel says Morty was just watching Nameless One run around before rolling his eyes and stepping in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
True.
literally what he did. I have this leather straps. You carry that stuff.
What's the stone about? This is just a cobblestone?
Yeah, that's the cobblestone we took from the skeleton.
From the
That's, this is a polished cobblestone that was lodged in the zombie skull. The trace of yep. Okay, we're leaving that here. Okay.
Well, maybe it's a gate stone for something.
That's
you
true.
Never know.
Yeah, oh man.
This game.
Strahan's diary. A scroll of strength. Dagger. Magical. Scroll of chromatic orb. Awesome. So if you read scrolls here, you can learn the spells, right? Is that correct?
Well, if you're a caster, can cast them, but we are fighter, remember?
Yes. Disappointing. Strahan's diary. This leather-bound tome is cracked and worn with age. Some sort of crest has been burned into the cover. You can make out a series of interlocking triangles centered about the initials SR. The writing upon its pages has faded considerably, but the last few entries seem to have been penned recently. Day 2 of the 127th year of Factol Hashkar's reign. At last I have found it. The missing page of the Aptarge grimoire is now in my possession. As I had guessed, the page detailed the necessary components for casting of the final transformation spell. I have all but one of the components. A drop of an immortal's blood is all that stands between me and the eternal power of lichdom. But where can I find such a rarity? Perhaps I should seek the answer through divination. Day 14th. After days of texting divination spells, I finally have my answer. The divination revealed the location of an immortal to be somewhere within an ancient mausoleum located in the hive section of Sigil. I must make haste. I must find this creature and draw its blood before it moves on. I have arrived at the mausoleum. Immediately I was set upon by a shade that guards the remains of those interred within this place. I managed to elude the spirit and found my way into what appears to have been some sort of inner sanctum, protected by some minor wards to prevent any further interruptions by the supernatural twit. I have set about raising some of the locals to conduct a search for the immortal. If the divination was accurate and the immortal is here, then likely it is interred within one of the many crypts that line these walls. It is only a matter of time now. I'm not alone. Someone has entered the mausoleum and is interfering with my servants. Could this be the one I seek? The divination revealed only that I would find the immortal here. Could it be that my presence in this place has prompted that which I seek to seek me out? What a delightful twist! I shall have to. The ink of this last entry is still wet.
Cool.
Okay.
So, we play a prominent role in his divination.
Yep.
Like that one.
This looks to be a very well made dagger. It has a nice balance and a very sharp blade. Cool. Okay.
Is it the 1d6 dagger? Did you just see that?
1d6 piercing.
That's cool.
Speed 2. Done.
That's what I like about this one. It doesn't take the normal parameters of the Dungeons and Dragons items. No, 1d6 dagger, why not? That's normally d4.
Yeah. Oh, Guardian Spirit. You want to read this one?
As you step into the corridor, the Guardian Spirit materializes before you, its ghostly countenance regarding you benevolently. I thank you. You have done me a great service. The spirits of my charges sleep quietly once again. Go in peace, friend. The apparition fades away, leaving you alone in the deserted halls of the mausoleum.
Updated my journal. Stronger.
Gain experience
Yes,
2000 and we are level up.
Oh,
Level up. What?
Oh, phew, 10 hit points gained.
Again? The first
I
time
saw
we also
one.
gained 10 hit points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing great. Our AC dropped by 2.
Oh, that's cool.
Saving throws have improved. Fighting skills have improved. 1 characteristic point gained.
Well, I think the SA still dropped because we still have a buff from something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that might be true. Okay, so
here we go.
Yeah, so we have this one at exceptional, we have this one at exceptional, and I think we were on our way to crank our wisdom up to great, super great as well.
Yeah.
A high wisdom helps you recall memories and gives you bonuses to experience points. So, yeah. Was 18 the highest? I think so.
Does intelligence give you the more dialogue options?
Sorry?
Yeah, more dialogue options.
The intelligence. Yeah, the intelligence.
Oh, I think we're streaming to right about now, Animal Sentinel. Good catch, because I wasn't.
Oh yeah. It's
account.
So I think this is the we finished the quest. So let's do our wisdom. Pump it up.
Here. Okay. Fun fact, because I thought let's find it. The Fraternity of Order, the factor of the Fraternity of Order was named Hashkar, and we just saw in the diary that we are living in the year of Hashkar. Mm-hmm. So apparently they are switching the years and naming them after the leaders of the factions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Fraternity of Order year.
Okay.
Fun fact, that's why I'm here, right?
That's why you are here. That's true. So what do you want to do? Intelligence, wisdom, charisma. So I either want to crank up our wisdom to 16 because then it moves up to, so we can move it up to 17 as well. That would be the idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, accept. Okay, And
Okay.
then we will leave the mausoleum, and then come
Just
on,
R
run.
button.
Run.
Going the right way.
Oh, dude, does it work? No. 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 No.
Well, you can't press it on the map, but you can press it when you scroll there.
Ah, but it doesn't scroll.
Go to the other side, right? Yeah. So you don't have to take.
Come on, man. Yep. Yep.
Then we go to
What? I can't.
make the left. No, the other way. The other way. Yeah.
Yeah. We move all the way up here.
Yay.
Yay.
We'll be putting the end. If you have to go, Animal Sentinel, you have to go. We'll be putting it up on YouTube as well, so you
Yes.
can watch the last 5 minutes or so. But I think we have to. We'll end it here as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. We'll.
I think we had a great session though.
Well, we did a quest. For who did we do the quest? Look, now it doesn't wanna-
to the
Why?
northwest.
So why is that? Look, now I can't even. It doesn't move the screen anymore.
Maybe we just have to reload.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll be seeing you then in
Gathering
chat.
dust
Hopefully you
bar.
have a lot of fun there as well. If you want to catch up with the campaign, just watch the streams on YouTube. There's already like, what is it? 18 hours on there or something. 16 to 18
Yep.
hours.
Episode 3, the gathering. Oh.
The Goth Mouse House.
Yeah. The gathering dust bar. That's a great pun, by the way, on dustbin gathering, but also they're very boring, so they're gathering dust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Game.
Quit game. Quit game. Whew.
So you want to do the end credits?
Yeah, let's whoops. Let's go to this one. So, Jasper, what do you think? Did we do good? Did I do
Yes,
well?
we did good.
Did we do well?
The funny thing is that every time we're playing this, I'm always thinking about, are we doing it fast enough or are we doing it the right way? And then at a certain point, I'm enjoying myself so much that I don't ask that question anymore. And this was the first time that I really forgot the time. So that as well.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun again. And yeah.
This will
I think you did
definitely,
too, right?
we can definitely easily get like a 300 episodes from this game. So
The funny thing is, every game that says it has 60 hours in it, I played about 120 hours. So
true, me too.
yeah.
With Mass Effect and Final Fantasy being the games that I put most time in, I think. Besides
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, when I played it, obviously that's a time sink
Yeah.
if there ever was
That's,
one. Anyway,
Can't compare that.
how many viewers? 9 viewers. Wow. Okay. So
Now when we had 10, they
Yeah.
are dropping now.
no,
we had
no,
10
no,
or
no,
maybe
no.
11.
That's not true. We had 7 at one point, but it doesn't even matter. I'm just happy with anyone that's watching. If it was 2 people,
Oh, yeah, true.
So-
But we had 10. When I came online, we had 10.
Yeah,
so
but
it's just what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and I'm happy with any number.
yes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for tuning in to this amazing episode of Parallel Projections, episode number 3. It will be up on YouTube a bit later than usual, probably on a Friday, because on Thursday we're dropping our special one-shot of the Precipice of Dreams, Oddleaf's Ordeal, where you can find out what happened to Oddleaf when she messed around with a piece of magic. Yeah, so check out our
It's just a bit
previous...
sad because now we can't talk about it tomorrow.
Yes. Well, I can, if you have time tomorrow to watch it, I can
Yeah, but we don't want to spoil for the viewers.
That's true. But it might have been a good thing for the role-playing thing. So yeah, that's the other thing. Come back tomorrow and join us for Talking Void, where I am the guest on Jasper's show. Where do you want to talk about Talking Void? You talk about Talking Void.
We're going to do Talking Void again, figuring out the format, talking about how do you roleplay. It's the theme. Although, we just want to ask you how do you roleplay. It will be the theme. You can ask in chat. You can send in your questions about that. We'll be discussing the Precipice of Dreams, the last episode, things that have been going on with Altreef, but not to an extent that we might have gotten. And we always discuss Bowen because Bowen is my character. And talk about the adventure in general and Dungeons and Dragons role-playing games in general and about things. But the most important thing is this time we have the theme about how do you roleplay. And we are still gathering all these questions from all around the globe and sorting them, categorizing them, rolling dice to see which question we'll be answering in the chat, because we've got hundreds and hundreds of questions at the ready, and we really have to pick, a couple of them. And no, it's not true, of course. we don't have any yet, but it doesn't matter because we'll be making a great show.
We're having fun. We're having fun anyway.
Yeah,
which is most important.
And it's for a Talking Void will be a thing that you can watch later on when you start watching the campaign and
you come back to
see
it.
what went
wrong
in our minds.
Where it went wrong.
Where it went wrong. And
you can see our slow decline into madness on Talking Void.
Yeah, we'll do that. And so see you there.
All right. So check us out tomorrow live on Twitch for Talking Void. Follow us on Twitch so you know exactly when we're online. We'll be doing some occasional random streams now and then whenever one of us has time. I've been playing the Banner Saga, which is one of my favorite games, last week, and I might stream an episode this week. But so follow us on Twitch and you'll know you'll never miss anything. Check out our YouTube for any episodes that you have missed of shows that you've liked that we do. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook for the behind the scenes stuff, our artwork, and please join us in our new Discord. We love communicating with you. Talk to us, leave your comments, and have some conversations. And with that, I think I've said everything that I need to say. So.
Just press that follow button. That's important for us as well. Just press it. I know it might feel like a big step for some of you, because then you get these notifications, but it helps us greatly. Please do. On Twitch as well as on YouTube. Because we want to grow and we want to make more content, and that's the way to do it.
Yes, thank you. So with that, we'll go to the end credits, which are just the end credits of Planescape Torment. Because then you can read all the names of all the amazing people that made this game while listening to some awesome music made for this game by an amazing composer. So, without further ado, adieu. Thank you all for watching. It has been a pleasure. Catch you on the flippy floppies and see you tomorrow.